All of life certainly works for our highest good and the good of the universe. Grant me the vision that says just oneness in all of life. A very beautiful composition by the leader and founder of Ethereum Mission, Brother Dr. Ishmael Tete. Here we are once again, another Tuesday, the 3rd of November 2020, on Hour of Awakening, Hour of Empowerment. And as I said, it comes your way from Ethereum Mission International, the Center for Spiritual Empowerment. Yes, we come here to empower ourselves spiritually so that we will have the reflection in other areas of our lives. Today, we have a very wonderful young man, very brilliant, intelligent as well, who is coming our way with a very, very beautiful topic. Well, I looked at the topic and I asked myself, why is this man now working in the court? Is he a Supreme Court judge? Is he a lawyer? Is he a magistrate? Because he says, allow the law to prevail. Well, I don't know if he's canvassing for the laws of Ghana to prevail or what have you. So, without much ado, let's welcome Stanley Brown to take us through his topic for today. Good evening, Stanley.
Good evening, Papa Smiley.
How are we doing?
I'm well. I'm doing wonderful.
Excellent.
How about you?
Oh, I'm so balanced as life itself. Well, I don't know. Have you moved professions from finance to law?
Yes, I'm looking into that.
Well, you know, we are in election year, right? And I was thinking, when I look at your topic, why is he trying to let us know that we should let the laws prevail in this election period or what have you? That is why I'm asking you if you've moved profession or what have you. Anyway, I'm just itching already to know which laws you are talking about. So, without much ado, let me hand over to you right away so you take us through your topic. Allow the law to prevail. Over to you, Stanley.
All right. Thank you, Papa Smiley. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world. My name is Stanley Brown, and I'm coming to you from Ethereum Mission International with today's Hour of Empowerment and Awakening. Ethereum mission, our mission is that of a unified world in which everyone is a catalyst that is activating and promoting the innate good in one another. And we are located on the General Ankara Highway in Dansoman, Accra, Sakaman. Our telephone numbers are 0264 177 633 and 0548 177 633. And these are also our WhatsApp numbers. You can always get in touch with us if you want to receive daily or our weekly messages and teachings and lessons. These are also our mobile numbers, so anytime you want to contribute to support this worthy cause, you are always welcome, and we always appreciate your support. We are also located on the Dave Street in Anaji Estates in Takrady, and our telephone number is 0561 166 330. And in Kumasi, we are located in the Deba Court Hotel behind Dr. Bedu in Adiembra. Our telephone number is 0561 166 331. In UK, we are located at the 58 Coringe Park Avenue in Mitcham, Surrey, with a postcode of CR42DG, and the telephone number is 0208 646 129. So once again, I welcome you to today's lesson, which is entitled, Allow the Lord to Prevail. Allow the Lord to prevail. And when I say law, I mean the law of life. It could cut across the general law that we know, but it's basically talking about the law of life. And this law of life is there. It's designed to bring about harmony. It's designed to bring about peace and harmonious coexistence and to bring harmony in life. But occasionally, we tend to not experience this harmony with this law because we want to take the law into our own hands. We attempt to tamper with the law. We attempt to mete out our own judgments. And it always ends in anguish and misery. So today we just going through this lesson so we understand what this law is, and also learn some simple ways in which we can uphold the law to foster harmony in life. So I'll start with a hypothetical case, a simple hypothetical case about life. So assuming you go to town, and whilst walking in town, you accidentally bump into someone. No, as soon as you accidentally bump into the person turns to you angrily and says to you, you don't watch where you are going. I'm going to teach you a lesson. The person beats you up mercilessly. Now you observe this going on. Anytime someone offends someone, the slight one, you get beaten up. So you step on the toes, you get beaten up. The same thing happens to everyone. What kind of world are we looking to have if we all behave in such a way? What will the world look like? So the fact that you can punch, you're a boxer, so you go around punching people anyhow. Such as there are people like that in life. So for them, they feel like they are the judges in life. They are the executioners in life. So when someone offends them, they feel they are the ones supposed to pass judgment as to the offense, the gravity of the offense, and the kind of punishment that is needed for that offense. So they take the law into their own hands. They take the law into their own hands to mete out their own punishment. They pass their own judgment and meet their own execution, whether to harm others or whether to intimidate others. They just do it. And most of the time, people do this because they do not understand the law, or they do not even know what the law is. Some also are unable to forgive. They always want to even the score. When something happens, they have to even the score. So they determine how they are going to even the score. For some also, they want to appear tough and superior to other people. They always want to be seen as the one who is strong, the one who is having the upper hand. So we always feel responsible for teaching people lessons. We always take the law into our own hands just so we can, quote unquote, teach someone a lesson. But taking the law into your own hands, what does it mean? In general terms, it means that you are doing something illegal and quite often is violent in order to punish someone because you think the person has offended you and you think the law will not punish the person, or you know the law will not punish the person. So you are passing your own law to punish the person. Now, what is this law of life I'm talking about? The law of life is referred to as the law of karma, the law of cause and effect. The law that is explained by Sir Isaac Newton, Newton's third law of motion, that action and reaction are equal and opposite. And this same law has been stated in many ways in the Bible. So I'll refer to some of them just for us to be abreast with some of the verses in the Bible that supports this law. So in Galatians 6, chapter 7, it says, as a man soweth, so shall he reap. In Psalm 7, verse 16, it says, the trouble they cause recoils on them. Their violence comes down on their own heads. Proverbs chapter 26, verse 7 teaches that whoever digs a pit will fall into it. If someone rolls a stone, it will roll back at them. Now in Mark chapter 26, verse 52, Jesus said to the disciple who picked the sword to defend him, he said, put away the sword, for all who draw the sword will die by the sword. Job chapter 4, verse 8. And I read, as I have observed, those who plow evil and those who sow trouble reap it. Matthew 7, verse 12. So in everything, do to others what you want them to do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets. So what does this law seek to do? The law seeks to ensure that there is harmony. There's always balance in life. It always seeks to ensure that everything is in harmony, everything is in unity. So if life was a mathematical equation, or let's say a chemical equation, or any equation that you think life is, you have the left side of the equation, you have the right side of the equation. The expression on the left side of the equation should be equal to the equation on the right side of the equation. Anytime you tilt the values or amend the values on the left side of the right side of the equation, you have to amend the values on the left side of the equation so that there's always a balance. The law does not seek to punish or reward. It does not seek to punish you for what you've done or to reward you for something that you've done. It is only there to cause us to learn and grow from our experiences. So if you do something good, the law will give you the feedback. And if you like the feedback, then you know you're on the right track. You know that you've done something good and you have to grow the good, expand the good so you can do more good. Now, if you do something bad, the law will give you your feedback. And if you don't like it, you know that you can do better than that. The law is telling you you can do better than that. So you correct yourself and you move on. You do something that is more evolutionary to life. And most often we fail to realize this. We fail to realize that when someone sows something, it is theirs to reap. And what you sow is also yours to reap. What someone does is their own karma. How you respond or react to it It's your own karma. So let's look at some of the ways in which we sometimes take the law into our own hands. We feel we have to execute judgments on someone, or pass our own law and execute the judgment just to punish or create discomfort for somebody. So I'll look at a classical example, something that we are all guilty of. I'm guilty of myself. So for those of us who drive, sometimes you are driving and someone is trying to maybe take a wrong route to cross you, or the person is driving recklessly. Sometimes you try to block the person to deter the person, but when it doesn't deter the person, what do we do? You either get angry. I'll show this guy. He thinks he's crazy. Let me show him I'm more crazy. Let me show him that I'm mad. So you show the person you are mad, and then both of you end up bumping your car. Now, you've lost your time. You are going to lose some money. You may have run into someone. You are going to pay some costs. Sometimes you may even go to jail just because you took the law into your own hands. What does the law say about defensive driving? Defensive driving means that you should drive responsibly, whether someone is on the right of way or not. It is for you to drive responsibly. So you may end up being tried for careless and inconsiderate driving. And it's something that most of us, I'm guilty of myself. I've had a few unpleasant experiences and I've learned from it. Now, sometimes you hear people assaulting their lovers because the lover has decided to leave them sometimes for another person. So they will assault, they take the law into their own hands to punish the person. So they will assault the person. Sometimes they end up killing the person or even the lover or both of them or himself. Now, killing the person has its own repercussions. Even beating the person has its own repercussions. What if the person living is life's way of telling you that this is not for you, something better is for you? And the person who is out there waiting for you is seeing you beating and killing someone because the person is leaving you, or the person has offended you, or the person has cheated on you. The person will just decide that, okay, I don't want to be with this person. So you end up losing on both sides. You feel the person has wasted your time or betrayed you, and then you take action and you lose on both ends. Sometimes you see people, their spouse offends them, and then they end up trying to punish their spouses or their partners. Sometimes they even take it out on the children. They don't take care of the children well because they just want to punish their partner. Sometimes you find people harnessing all sorts of negative energies, the jujus and stuff, just to harm someone. Just because someone has insulted you, you want to go and harness some negative energy in the form of juju or voodoo, just to harm the person, just to teach the person a lesson not to insult you. You've forgotten that whatever you are sowing, you are going to reap. Whatever pit that you dig, you are going to fall inside yourself. So that energy may go and it may harm the person, but bear in mind, you've sown something and it will come back to you like a boomerang. You see two people litigating over a piece of land. Now, one person builds, another person goes to demolish. Another person says, okay, let me teach him a lesson. You also go and demolish. You are wasting time, you are wasting money, you are wasting your energy, and sometimes you end up creating an issue that is going to run across the generations. People may get killed, people may get injured, whereas the law is there to handle these issues. Fine, the person may have built, but if the law handles it, who knows? They could decide that, okay, since the person has built, maybe one person will have to just buy the other one out, or they find an amicable solution or identify the rightful owner, and then the issue will be resolved well. But you kill, you harm, and you leave conflict that is run across generations. Your children come to fight, your children's children come to fight until some wise ones rise up in the family to put a stop to it. Sometimes your father or mother may have abandoned you along the way, and now you are grown up and you've made it. And you think your parents are not doing so well, and you think it's time for you to also pay them and punish them for neglecting you along the way. Whereas Bible teaches you that you honor your father and your mother without a condition. That's the law, without a condition. That whether the person is good or bad, honor your father and your mother. So when some things are not going well for you in your life, you may be getting feedback from life that you need to give attention to something. Rather, what do? Now you go around spending money, pastors spending your money because you think there are some witches in your family that are after you, people exploiting you here and there, going through all sorts of stress and unpleasant situations, just because sometimes you are not honoring your father and your mother. You have decided to be the judge in their lives to frustrate them. Sometimes we engage in unnecessary fights just because we want to teach someone a lesson. We go to extreme cases to insult people. You just want to show that you are the man. You want to show that you are the sheriff in town to enforce the law on people. You want to show that you are the champion, the King Kong. No one stands up against, no one dares to rise against you. There are all ways in which we exploit the law, we take the law into our own hands, and sometimes it doesn't end up well for us. Doing that does not mean that you are strong. A strong person is someone who has the ability to endure, someone who has the ability to stand up, right, and be unperturbed when things are not going their way, when they stand in the face of a challenge, when they stand in the face of a provocation. Strong people are able to be firm in themselves, not your ability to retaliate or revenge. It doesn't mean you are strong. It is emotionally weak people who do that. When you are easily provoked, it just shows your weakness. And that inability to control the urge to react is the weakness. And it means that you are easily provoked. So it tells you that you need to give attention to yourself. You do not need to be super silly because someone else is being silly. You don't need to do that. Sometimes, not walking away from a fight is for your own good. It's for the good of everybody, like the land issue that I gave. Sometimes resolving that land issue on its own will save a lot of families, will save a lot of resources, and all of that. When someone displays weakness, it shows that they are sick. And how you also respond will determine whether you are also sick or not. Two sick people cannot cure themselves. They both need help. After all, even if you go to the law courts, they sometimes settle things out of court. They don't always get up to pass judgments and punish people and all of that. Sometimes the law knows that something good and the lawmakers know that something good and evolutionary is coming out of this situation. Something wonderful is birthing through this situation. So they try to seek mediators to try and resolve it because they know that there's a potential for greatness to come out of this situation. So there's no need for the conflicts, the fighting, the retaliation, and all of that, because you only end up, you're not doing anything to the other person. You're actually doing things to yourself. You're actually causing harm to yourself. You're actually destroying relationships that can promote you, that can enhance a certain aspect of your life. You are destroying relationships that can enable you to progress in a certain area of your life. That's why Jesus came to change the old law. In Matthew 5, verse 58 to 42, he changed the old law and he said, "Ye have heard this. It was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right, turn the other cheek also." It is not telling you that literally that when someone slaps you, then you turn for the person to slap the other part. It's telling you that when someone offends you, turn another side of you. Show the person another side of you. So it's not telling you, okay, slap me here, slap me there. No, it's telling you that when someone offends you, turn the other side. Show the other side of you. Show a better side of you. It says, if anyone wants to sue you for your shirt, hand over your coat as well. Show that you are bigger than this situation. If anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go 2 miles. So if the situation is forcing you to be little, show your greatness. Show that you are bigger than the situation. Show that you are strong enough to handle the situation. Because an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, what it means is that if you go by that law, I'm sure we'll be blind by now. Some of us will also be toothless by now because an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, we can't see and we can't eat and we'll all be starving. But as human as we are prone to offending others, and we will always continue to offend others because we are human. Consciously or unconsciously, from time to time, you would offend someone. That's how life is. No one can say they went through the whole year without consciously or unconsciously offending someone by their words or action. It's impossible. Unless maybe you've been locked up somewhere, isolated from all of humanity. So if we are all taking judgment against others who have offended us, then it means that the whole world will be in chaos. Because I'm always trying to teach someone a lesson, someone is trying to teach me a lesson the hard way. And life will be there'll be pandemonium everywhere. By this, I'm not saying you should be weak. You should be a doormat for people to walk over you. But in you mounting up your defenses, you must ensure that your defense is for the collective good. It's for your good and for the collective good of humanity, or for all. Because every provocation is an opportunity for you to express a God virtue, to expand the good that you are. So you don't need to react to prove your superiority, but you respond to teach the person a better way. You respond to make the person and yourself a better person. You never take the law into your own hands. You don't become a criminal because someone else is being a criminal or someone else is doing criminal stuff. So you also become a criminal, or you try to tamper with the law when the law is operating. Allow the law to function. Allow the law to bring harmony to life. You need to keep in mind that the law is there to bring harmony. And you need to trust this law. You need to trust this law in the awareness that the law is there to promote the goodness of life. It's here to promote the collective good of humanity. It's not here to promote just the good of one person. So when the equation of life, or you find a situation where it looks like the equation is tilted towards the negative, do you bring in more negative to make things worse, or you bring in positive to balance the equation? It's a very simple thing. Do you bring in a positive to balance the equation, or you bring in more negative to mess the situation up? You have to always demonstrate wisdom in these situations, because a wise person is the one who is able to analyze the situation. He's able to come up with an appropriate response that is for the evolutionary good of all. Your response must make you a better person and must make others also better. Your response, not your reaction. You don't react, but you respond. And your response can sometimes be to do nothing and walk away. Your response can be to fight and defend other people. Your response can be to teach the other person a better way of doing things. Your response can be to take a hit to protect others. Your response can be to show compassion. It could be to embark on a protest, a peaceful protest, just to show others that the path in which they are going is inappropriate and they need to do the right thing. So I'd like to share a personal example between me and a friend. So we had an issue about something, and the first time she spoke about it, I think I didn't like it. So the next time she spoke about it, then I told myself, she's brought herself. So let me also show her some pepper. So I said something that was not so pleasant, and I think she didn't speak to me for some days. So later down the line, we were talking, and she was talking about something, and she mentioned that, well, now, when she's not happy about something, she can't even talk. She's even scared to talk. And for me, that gave me an awakening. Why should my friend be scared of me? Why should my friend be scared of me? This friendship is more important than this situation. So for me, I would find a better way to resolve things the next time. And a much worse situation came up subsequently. And now it looks like she was saying all sorts of stuff. So I was discussing with a friend, and the friend was like, you need to say something. Show her that she can't just go around doing this thing. Show her something, like teach her something. You have to give her some jabs here and there for her to just be rough her up so that she knows that she can't just be bringing those things. And I told my friend that, let me just keep calm. She will learn her lesson. Let's allow her to. He said, no, you have to teach her the lesson. Show her that show her some sense. But something just, anytime I feel the urge to just respond or reply to anything, something just tells me to keep quiet. So I don't say anything. Sometimes I'm like, okay, let me just give her one or two, a few doses of what she deserves so far. I know she'll just shut up. But then I was also imagining the whole thing. This is a friend. I wouldn't take delight in just hurting my friend, because what I'm going to do, even though she's doing something, I'm not really bothered, but I just want to hurt her for her to learn. She will not learn anything. She will just be hurt, and then the friendship will be damaged. So after some time, I woke up one morning and I decided to share a message with her. That was the message that came to mind. Just share this experience with her. And as soon as I sent it, I realized that the tone of her message had changed, and she called me and she was explaining that, well, she was behaving like that because she was frustrated and she was angry and all of that. So she just explained that I realized that she had realized it was not really helping the situation, and she herself learned from it. So this is an example of a case where I took a pause. I allowed the situation myself to analyze the situation, and then I just allowed life to take the appropriate response for the situation. If it was up to me, I'm sure by this time we'll not even be on talking terms anymore. But for me to take the pause, and this is where I'd like to share a simple practice that you can use. And this practice was shared by our guru, Brother Ishmael Tete. He says, you relax, you breathe, and you be. So relax, breathe, and be. So when things seem to be going out of hand, there's a provocation or something. Before you react, tell yourself to react, to relax. And in telling yourself to relax, you must have the sensory perception of the relax. How it smells, what it tastes like, what it sounds like, what it smells like, what it feels like. So when you are telling yourself to relax, you are clearing your mind, the command you are giving to yourself to relax. Now, when you relax, you breathe. You stay in the calmness, the stillness of the calmness, and allow spirit to just manifest itself through you. Demonstrate your strength in the calmness. Let your strength express in the calmness. When you stay in the calmness, it connects you to the infinite wisdom of the universe, the infinite wisdom in the silences, and that wisdom just pours itself through you to resolve every situation. So you be that wisdom that wisdom in expression. You become the love in expression. You become the peace in expression, because you relax. You tell yourself to relax. You take a pause. And then in the stillness, you connect, and spirit just expresses itself through you. Now, aside that, there are other ways. Sometimes you have to analyze the situation. Develop your own prompts that will help you to derive learning from situation, that will help you to evolve from situation. So simple prompts like, what lesson is life seeking to teach me through this experience? What abilities am I to develop through this experience? Am I to develop more patience, more endurance, more tolerance? What noble outcome am I seeking out of this situation? So for me, the case I had with my friend, I was seeking to still maintain a cordial relationship with the person, to maintain harmonious coexistence with the person, to maintain a healthy relationship with the person, no matter what. Even if the person is not a close friend, I was still seeking to maintain that positive relations with the person. So you can also develop your own prompts in addition to this. So you realize that when you are able to master these practices, you are able to respond well to situations and not create other form of negative karma for yourself. You're always seeing the positivity in life. You always see the brighter side of life. You always see the good side of life. You're able to coexist harmoniously with everyone, everywhere, anytime, and anyhow. Wherever life places you, you naturally coexist harmoniously with everyone, and your presence evokes peace. You become an agent of peace. Your presence always evokes peace wherever you are, and you are even, sometimes life even directs others to you for you to teach them how to be peaceful by your peaceful nature. I believe that in having these benefits, we will be able to have a much more harmonious life with all. And when everyone is practicing this, and we are all not taking the law into our own hands to punish others, to inflict pain and stuff, but we are all able to be in the stillness, to connect to life, to allow life to express its true intentions through whatever situation there is. We'll naturally have harmonious coexistence. We'll live well with others. Life will be very pleasant and wonderful, and we will all be happy. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Stanley, for letting us know the law that we should allow to prevail. Well, as you said, the law you are talking of is the law of life, the law of karma. That is The law, not the Ghana law, not the British law, or what have you. This is the law of karma. I'm very certain you are ready for a few questions that will
Yes.
run through the next 15 minutes, right?
Yes.
Well, you see, when you're driving, for instance, you use driving as an example, and then say a police officer stops you, whatever the reason may be. You try to override whatever reason that the officer is trying to stop you for with some cities, right?
Yes.
And well, in many cases with the Ghana police, you get your way around it, right? So one
Yes.
way or the other, you've been able to override the law with
Yes.
some CD notes, right? Now, this law
Yes.
that you are asking, or you are telling us we should allow it to prevail, is there any way whatsoever that one can override this law?
Overriding, when you say override, like as in render the law ineffective,
That's right.
is it like the law that says that was like you don't have to break traffic regulations, or the exchange of brown envelopes that go on?
You see, so in this case, is there anything that you can do so that the law will not take its full course?
Yes. So okay, I'll share an example. So at some point, I'll say somewhere late last year, early this year, I was driving an unregistered car. And we came into 2020. So the 2019 plate was expired. But I was still driving around the 2019 plate. So I'm like, okay, well, they won't stop me. So I take the law into my own hands and drive around with the 2019 plate. So occasionally, one will stop you. Sometimes they stop you, they chat, they won't mind you. But then at some point, I realized that they stop you, and you have an option whether to get yourself prosecuted or to part away with some few notes. Now, driving with driving with an expired DV plate. So the car is not registered. The DV plate is expired, which means that the insurance on the DV plate is also expired. So it's a very serious offense. Now, you meet a police officer, then this one, you dash. Sometimes within a day, you'll be stopped 3 times. And all the times, because you don't want to be inconvenienced by going to the station and all of that. But at some point, I realized that no, this thing is rather harming me, because if I had gone to buy the new plates, the amount of money that you reach here 20, you reach here 30, you reach here 50, you reach here, before you realize, you would have even spent more than that. So why don't I just do the right thing? So I actually didn't even buy the plates. I decided to just register the car, get there. So now that's negative. Even if I'm not getting arrested and I am having to pay my way through, it is not a pleasant experience for me. It is not evolutionary for me. That money that I'm wasting can be used to do something. It can be used to help someone. It can be used to help myself. It can be used to fix something in the home. So for me, it was a negative feedback I was getting, and it was unpleasant. So I reflected on it, and I decided to do the right thing.
Okay. All right. Beautiful.
So it's on the individual for you to reflect on upholding the law or breaking it, because when you break it, there's always a price. Even if you are paying your way through, it is a price you are paying.
Okay. All right. Got you now, right? And you were also talking about you always seeing the positives in life. You said something to that effect, right?
Yeah, I was saying that. So one of the benefits,
Mm-hmm.
you're not, you're always not seeking to um, pass your own judgments and pass your own execution on others.
Mm-hmm.
It enables you to see the positives in life. So sometimes a simple example, sometimes a friend can, let's say someone asks a friend for something, right? And the person doesn't give you. Sometimes someone will be like, okay, I asked the person and the person didn't give me. So me too, I'll show the person when they are in need or something. But if you sit down and you reflect on it, you realize that there could be a lot of reasons why the person did not give you. It could be that the person didn't have. And the person themselves, they're already in some form of pain and torture for not being able to help you. It could be that the person is actually even in need more than you. It could be that there is an emergency that the person has. There could be a lot of reasons why the person could not help you. And if you sit down to always look at the other side of things, it makes you see the brighter side of life. Sometimes it could even make you empathize with the person to also want to help the person. But if you're always looking at it from the point of, okay, he didn't want to give me, or she didn't want to give me, they have, but they didn't want to give me, then you always see the negatives in people. But if you also tend to look at the other side, reasons why it could not be given, then it always puts you in that positive energy that probably the person is not in a position to give. And sometimes the person may be in need of something.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Um, some people usually say, when you respect me, then I respect you. If you don't respect me, then I do not respect you. Is that also part of the laws of life?
So when it comes to respect, right, I think that you derive your own respect from what you exude attracts the respect to you. If you don't respect yourself, first of all, if you don't respect yourself, people will not respect you. So for someone to disrespect another person, it means that the person themselves, they don't respect themselves. So in the first place, if you don't respect yourself, people will not respect you. That is actually the statement. Because in the first place, for you to respect somebody else, it means you don't respect yourself. So if you don't respect somebody, they will not respect you. In essence, if you don't respect yourself, others will not respect you.
Hmm. So, so it means someone is not respecting you. You can also equally disrespect the person. Is that what it means, or what? Because the person
I'm
is
not
not
saying
respecting
it from the
themselves.
point of, if someone doesn't respect you, there are ways in which you can handle
Mm-hmm.
it. Sometimes you need to find out why the person doesn't respect you. Is the person is it that the person really doesn't respect you, or the person is afraid of you? One, is it that you yourself, you don't respect yourself, so the person naturally sees that, okay, this person, he doesn't respect himself, so I I would disrespect the person. And since you already don't respect yourself, and somebody has come to, and you've broadcasted it, and someone has expressed respect to you, in the first place, you don't respect yourself. So you continue to show more disrespect. You just show whatever you are. You just broadcast how disrespectful you are to yourself.
Okay. All right. So if you respect yourself and someone disrespects you, you should let your respectful self come to bear, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. You is that to say you have to make yourself the center of the decision as to either to respect or to disrespect, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. A very interesting
But
question.
I find people who respect themselves and others don't respect them.
You hardly find that, right?
Yes, you hardly find that. People who respect themselves carry themselves with respect.
Mm.
They they are hardly disrespected. Even people, their supposed competitors actually respect them, but they want to show, sometimes they just want to show that competition by trying to downplay the person. But in actual sense, they don't respect them. They respect and they wish, sometimes they wish they can be like that person and they cannot.
I see. I see. Interesting. You know, back in Ghana, a lot of people insult our politicians on the radio, on their private settings, among other things. One other um, section of people that people insult so much is the police. Are you by inference saying these individuals do not respect themselves yet, and that is why people insult them so much?
So yes, with the police, sometimes a section of them um, may express a certain behavior or may show a certain behavior that infers that they do not respect themselves, right? So if they are known to, so let's say you have a case and you take it to the police and you have a genuine case, and then the other party goes to bribe the police to mess the case up for you. In the first place, the police have lowered their standards. They have dropped their level of integrity and respect by accepting that as by selling themselves out. They have dropped their value, they have reduced their respect. So naturally, they themselves, they've disrespected themselves by selling themselves out, selling themselves short. And people notice that this is the value of the police. The value of the police is 20 Ghana cedis. So why would they really respect? Because they feel that they can buy them out. They can be bought.
I see.
So that's one of the main sources of disrespect towards I'll say, the police and some law enforcement agencies.
All right. See, quite recently, we saw a video of a young man, disrespecting our president, right, in Ghana.
I've not seen that video.
You've seen that video, right?
No, I've not seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, okay, all right. I think you are too busy. You don't see so many things, right? On that note, I wouldn't ask that question. The last one, a very interesting question here.
Okay.
I heard you talk about breathing, and then breathe out, and then you breathe into the universe, and the universe does something through you. So you were saying certain things to that effect. The question goes: is your church a psychological center or a church in itself?
It is a spiritual center.
Mm-hmm.
It is more than a church.
Okay.
It is a church and more. It is a spiritual center. We study the spirituality of life and we apply it in everything that we do. We practice organic spirituality based on nature. Mm-hmm. And we know that nature is a footprint of God. So we practice organic spirituality, which transcends and it's bigger than, it's a church and more. I'll say it's a church and more. It's bigger than the church.
I see. It's bigger than the church, right?
Yes, so we practice spiritual technologies, and spiritual technologies are practices which have been tested and proven that they work, right? A technology is a practice which has been tested and proven and has proven results. It works and has proven results. So we know how the universe works, and we harness the power of the universe, and we manifest it.
You know how the universe works. You manifest the power of the universe, and then you use it. Thank you very much, gentlemen. That is what Ethereum mission is all about. It says it goes beyond the church, organic spirituality. So if you want more of such, you know where to go. Stanley, thank you very much, and I'll let you round up, and then you give out the various locations of Ethereum mission one more time before we draw the curtain.
All right. So once again, we are having a Hour of Awakening and Empowerment brought to you by Ethereum Mission International. Ethereum Mission, the Center for Spiritual Empowerment, and our mission is that of a unified world in which everyone is a catalyst that is activating and promoting the innate good in one another. We are located on the General Anchor Highway in Sakaman, next to the Gulf Filling Station. And in Takrady, we are at the Energy Estates, right? Energy Estates in the Dave Street, Energy Estates. In Kumasi, we are at Deba Court Hotel in Adiembra behind Dr. Bedu. In UK, we are at 58 Orange Park Avenue in Mitcham, Surrey, with the postcode CR42DG. So you can always reach out to us at these locations, and let's grow together. Thanks very much for joining me. I would say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to you, wherever you are, and catch you the next time.
Well, when you say catch you the next time, it means you're coming on Thursday or what?
No, another person is coming on Thursday.
So next time is not Thursday, right?
No, it's not Thursday. Well, but we'll still have the program Thursday, so we'll be back.
I understand. But you know you owe us one. You did not come last week Thursday, right?
Yeah, that one is there. It's accruing interest. I'll pay it.
You pay. You pay double, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, let's read a few comments that we have on Facebook as well. I think it will be a step in the right direction before we round up. Well, a very interesting question here. What one does, okay, this one is from the leader of Ethereum Mission. What one does to you is their karma, and how you respond is your karma. That is from Brother Ishmael Tete. We have Lamford Lamte. You are accountable to your actions, and others are accountable to theirs. If somebody's action makes you less respectful, then you don't know your values. Don't be reduced by others. Another one from Brother Ishmael. Disrespect is the broadcast of the trash that you are within. Wow, interesting. Disrespect is the broadcast of the trash that you are within. Wow. Oh, what do you say to that comment, Stanley?
Yeah, so it's just ties into what I said. So trash is something that we don't value, something that we intend to discard and throw away. So if that is what you have in you, it means that you don't have value for yourself. And trash is something we don't value, and that is what you have in you. If you broadcast it, it means that you are just bringing out trash. You are just bringing out something that is of no value. And since people don't won't accept things or respect things that don't have value, they don't value you and they'll disrespect you.
I see. Well, another one from Linford. Disrespect plus disrespect don't make right. It takes the wise to turn the tables. Interesting comments from Brother Ishmael himself and Limford as well. Any comments again on these comments before we round up?
No further comments.
No further comments, right?
Yes.
But the charge still stands. You owe us 2 more rounds, okay? And just a brief one. You guys always talk about the vision of Ethereum mission. That is a vision of a unified world in which each one is a catalyst that is activating and promoting the innate good of one another. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, is that to say that if that vision is to hold, there shouldn't be any boundaries between countries whereby we have laws stopping people from entering to this country, among other things? Is that to say, if that vision is to hold, there wouldn't be laws creating these boundaries between countries and country?
Yes, it will not create boundaries, because then it means that every country is working together to promote the good of the other country. And when they're working together, it means that they see themselves as one. They don't see any divisions. They don't see any segregations. And once you don't see any segregation and divisions, it means that you are one. And since you are one, why should there be boundaries and restrictions anymore?
Well, that's a tall order then, isn't it? Because if Donald Trump is to win again, I think this time around he will build a wall, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right then, Stanley, thank you very much for your time. I hope we all will begin to allow the law to prevail and not find ways of going around the law. Because if we do that, we are disrupting our own evolution. That is one thing that I picked up from what you gave us today. Enjoy your evening, and we hope to cross paths very soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Father, Mother God, lift my vision beyond duality and seeming opposites to that sacred vision of your one and indivisible self. O God, grant me the blessed vision that sees only your divine presence in and through all of life. You are the only power without opposite. There is nothing else besides you. You encompass the earth, the solar and other starry systems and galaxies. You alone are God. To you I surrender always, and from you I draw my power. So now, my spirit rises with the spirit of life, and the sound of my voice echoes in the hearts of all men.